Of course, you never know what to expect when you get out there on the water. Sometimes you'll get out and enjoy a perfect day, and other times things will get in your way and try and ruin it. Just like some of the things we're going to witness in this week's episode of Googans of the Week. Now, sometimes it's not just the Googans out there messing up. Sometimes the pros get out there and things just don't go their way as well. But of course, it's a little more fun when we see people out there in the water trying to have fun and things going wrong. Sometimes there's not much you can do but laugh with them as well, just like our next crew finds out as they get out on the water and the next thing you know, somebody tries to hitch a ride. I mean, you could have just grabbed it by the tail and ripped it off, or more than likely, really just kind of went after it and it probably would have jumped off anyway, but my man decides to go the harder route and see if he can knock it off. Now, other people will get out there on the water and have a really bad day, kind of like this crew here. This boat is spinning out of control, but what officers don't know is there's actually somebody in the vessel. Fortunately, in this situation, we can see here an officer winds up pinning the boat against the wall, but here's the footage of the officer in action getting the boat.
On the boat, in route, fire boat 3.
Fortunately, as we see here, the officer is able to get onto the vessel, go ahead and kill the motor, and get everything turned off, and fortunately bring this one to an end. Kind of like our next crew's trying to do here, is they're trying to bring an end to their day, and things just aren't going their way. As we can see here, they are stuck on the ramp, nothing but spinning tires. Now, what would you do in this situation if this was you? Here we can see they're not getting very far as both the rear tires are spinning, and obviously they don't have four-wheel drive, or I'm just guessing we would have already seen that happen. About the only thing you really can do here now is you see our guy talking to him is get some people involved, get some weight in the back of the truck, and hopefully see if you can get some people to help you. Something I've always been curious about, I've only ever seen one other person do this. Typically, these guys will put weight in the back of the truck, but if you deflated the rear tires, would it help at all? Let me know in the comments. Got to be careful right there as they were going backwards for a moment. As he's spinning those tires, he's got to make sure he finesses that brake, because the last thing he wants to happen is those front tires to break free and he starts going deeper in. Things will not go his way. They give it one more shot at giving it the gas, but I gotta believe now, yep, our driver's gonna have to reassess the situation on this one as he's quickly realizing he's not getting anywhere and just spinning tires. The worst part of this situation, there's no boat on the trailer. So once they put a boat on this trailer, it's not gonna get any easier probably than it is right this second, unless they can find a way to get a ton of weight on that tongue. guess is now that this guy in front of him is coming to his rescue and gonna try and pull him out. So after a few minutes of them getting this thing all tied up and hooked up to the other truck, let's see if the pullout will work and our guy can finally get on his way and end his day. And after receiving a little help, our guy is able to get pulled out and get under his way. I mean, every once in a while, that kind of stuff's gonna happen. Sometimes in boating, you're gonna need a hand to get yourself free and get out in the water, kind of like this next crew. And other times, instead of using that to go ahead and break the ice, they probably could use that scoop to go ahead and get all the trash out of the water so you can get out. And I got a feeling this crew here is going to need a little more help than most trying to get this thing out. As we can see, part of the bridge is down, but that's what happens when a massive barge breaks free and winds up colliding into a bridge like this. I mean, I guess at least they're fortunate it didn't wind up hitting the main bridge. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Googans of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button.